you born Jain, and have you?
Yeah, I was born Jain.
Yeah.
But we were initially we were not very spiritual or anything.
Mm.
We in Jainism, especially in India, people are more ritualistic about Jainism or any other religion.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So the philosophical aspect, I had no idea, which I came to know much later in life.
Mm.
Like not later because I'm just 27. So when I was around 22, 23, I
Yeah.
came about. First, I came to know about astrology more detailed,
Mm.
and through astrology, then I somehow ended up with some good book of Jainism, and I started reading it. Then I ended up with listening to lectures of many pandits and monks, and then I started completely studying about. But I had studied Vedanta before Jainism.
Mm.
When I was around 20, I uh, I got in touch with Advait Vedanta, which
Mm.
Swami Vivekanand had
Yeah.
very much popularized in the West.
In the USA.
So I found
Yeah.
very many similarities between Advait Vedanta and Jainism. Of course, there are differences
Mm.
because that's the reason they are both different religion. But there are many similarities. Even they talk about self realization and soul and everything. But still, there are many big differences.
Mm. What differences would you say that there are? Is it mainly the creator, destroyer, and
They they believe in one thing is that Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya.
yeah,
They believe that Brahman is the only reality and everything else is an illusion, is a part
correct.
of Brahman called as Maya. But Jainism doesn't say that. Jainism say there are six realities. Out
Yeah,
of it, even a table, they believe that even table is like a non-living thing is a part of Brahman.
Brahman.
While Jainism says no, soul is different and a table, matter is different. These are both different things, and they are just in a correlation because of the attachment. Because of our attachment, uh, we are attracting karma, and we are in getting in relation with the matter.
Yeah,
But apart from it, in the absolute viewpoint, we both are different. Soul and karma is different, and they say everything is same. So they say now that everything is one. We are one with everything. That's a very popular saying. They say we are one with everything
in Vedanta.
in Vedanta.
Yeah.
But Jainism says no, we are not one with everything. Every soul is different. For them, every soul is one.
Mm.
Everything is Brahman, and we have to realize that Brahman. And we say no, every soul is different. My soul is different. Your soul is different, and we all are going to achieve moksha whenever it is, but it's all different. So that's the major difference, and there are many minute differences, but this is a major difference. And they believe that everything came from Brahman. We believe that
Yeah.
universe is infinite.
Correct.
They believe that
Correct.
it came from Brahman. So that's a
Correct.
very big difference.
Yeah, yeah. The differences that I found is the whole creator, destroyer, and ending of the
Yeah, that
universe aspect. Like that is the big difference between Jainism and Vedanta or Hinduism in itself.
Vedanta.
But yeah, but and the whole idea of the universe being infinite, I think makes more sense to me than being a creator and a destroyer. Like maybe because that's the way I was brought
Yeah,
up, but and also because I'm a massive lover of physics and science as well. And even science is heading to the position that even before the Big Bang, there might have been countless or infinite Big Bangs before this one,
universe.
potentially.
So,
Yeah, in a scientific aspect.
and even they believe that there are infinite like universes.
Yes, yes, yes. There's a whole parallel universes. Correct. Yeah, which we can never
Yeah,
discover if you think about it that way,
yeah.
because you can never.
And Jainism says the same thing. There are
Correct.
infinite. We are just one small part of the infinite universes that are there. But there is a bigger difference that Jainism believes in a flat Earth,
Yeah.
while that's a difference. But of course, like Jainism was the scriptures were written like 2000 years back in some caves.
Even the flat Earth thing, I have been able to understand why. So just this is my perspective, and I could be wrong, but because what's been written is what I've read is like one of the Mahavishwami saw the Earth being flat, right? And obviously, if for a Tirthankar, he can access a reality without time, and if you don't have
Because they are omniscient. Yeah,
correct, yeah. So if you can see three Kal, right, you can see past, present, and future.
yeah,
So
they can see everything. Yeah.
yeah. So if you can see the universe without time, then space will compress and everything will look flat. So from that perspective, the Earth would look flat because time is not an obstacle. That's just from
I
my.
haven't thought about it. So yeah, yeah. But I've read one. I've listened to like I recently heard a lecture where he said that in a scripture of Jainism, uh, Jambudip Pragnapti, what was the name of the? I guess that was the name. It's written like 1,000 years back. They
Yeah,
say that yes, of course, Earth is flat, but some part of the Earth has just it's like when a person gets pimple, how it arises, what we
yeah,
say, arises.
yeah,
So a small part has like has that thing has happened. So that appears to be a semicircle, and that might be the reason the scientists have discovered Earth as a circle.
yeah. I don't. To be honest, I don't know, and from because it's so
For
difficult
that, we
for
need to
me.
study the scriptures more. I
Yeah,
haven't done that part much. I focus more in the philosophical aspect, but it's very important to study cosmology also because Jain cosmology is very vast.
Cosmology is
So
mind bending, mind blowing, and because we speak about parallel universes, we speak about different aspects of the
yeah,
universe, and this is like 2,500, 3,000 years ago, when most people in the West believe the Earth to be the center of the universe, where Jain philosophy completely like it's more like how it is today than it was 2,500 years
yeah,
ago.
many things like Jainism always said that plants had life,
Yep,
and it was then proven. Then Jainism also says water has life, and I guess it
yep,
is proven now.
yep,
Stones, mountains, everything has life.
yep.
So it will be soon proven that even a stone has life in it, like gemstones and everything that has life. Until you remove them and do all the thing, then the life is gone. It becomes a
Correct,
dead body. But before that, it has life. So all these things have been proven. So that shows that obviously those acharyas who were meditating in caves knew something,
correct.
and they got all that knowledge through just meditation in caves. Like
Yeah,
they had no technology, nothing,
yeah.
and they knew so much things that they have written.
This is what I found really
Like
fascinating is that Mahavishwami and all these acharyas and all these people that have come before us, they had no education system, they had no teachers in that
nothing
sense,
and
they had no internet, they had no Google. Yet
nothing.
their knowledge is beyond comprehension. You know, like
And
Mahavishwami was
another great
talking.
thing is,
Yeah,
yeah, there is no contradiction. Like if
yeah,
you read a book that is 1,000 years back, and if you read a book that is like 200 years back, the same thing is said. Like there are no contradictions
yeah, yeah,
that you can question. So acharyas of 200 years back during the Mughal era, and the acharyas during 2,000 years back or 1,500 years back, when kings were Jains, like Jainism was very
yeah,
prominent in India.
yeah.
Both are writing the same thing. There are no
Mm.
differences. So it also shows that the knowledge is knowledge. The truth is same. They are just saying it in different language. Like during that time, Prakrit was used. Then
Yeah.
Sanskrit came. Now mostly the books are written in English and Hindi, Gujarati, and those languages.
Yeah,
So only the
even
language has
cross,
changed. But
but even cross cultures, like even like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, a lot of them is so similar. Like again, language can distort certain truths, but I think the essence is pretty much the same.
that's similar.
Self transcendence. Find
Yeah.
yourself, detach yourself
But
from
there
the
are
world.
some philosophical differences,
Yeah,
like just I talked about Vedanta and Jainism. Same way, Buddhism
yeah,
believes in Madhyam Marg, and another thing is they don't believe in a permanent existence.
correct.
While
Even the
Jainism says
soul,
that
even the soul, they think is
yeah, even
it
the
keeps
soul is
changing.
temporary. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there is this philosophical difference. Like Jainism says, no, soul is permanent.
yeah,
The changes that are happening. The modifications are happening, but there is always a permanent reality behind it, which Buddhism doesn't believe in. They believe in shunya, like
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
So these are all philosophical huge differences in these three religions.
But for me personally, I think the philosophical differences are all intellectual. Like they're all for the intellectual mind, for the rational mind. And if you look at it
But they are very important.
from an experiential perspective, I think all three point to the same
But even
direction.
the experience will change, right? If
It
the
depends.
philosopher, if you don't believe in the permanent existence of soul,
Yeah.
when you experience the soul, what would you think about it? Like the experience will change if you don't believe in the philosophical.
It depends if you believe experience is beyond rationality. Because if your experience is beyond rationality and you're using rationality to explain the experience, you may explain it in this way. But essentially, all it's heading you to a similar direction. And this is from my understanding. I could be wrong. And of course, there are differences. That's why that's why there's Buddhism, there's Jainism, and there's Vedanta or Hinduism.
Yeah, there is a huge
Yeah.
difference.
But I feel that in my opinion, the similarities are more stronger than the differences. The similarities, in my opinion,
It depends
your
on
opinion could be
yeah.
true. And I think like I've read this book and it said like a thousand years ago, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Jainism they take ideas from each other because the boundaries were porous and accommodating. Yeah, and but in a sense of gratitude, in a sense of let's share knowledge instead of let's see who's right. And I think that
No, of course.
yeah, but I think that's because those three things can coexist. They can coexist,
Yeah,
like in
that's
the
true.
same, which is something that isn't prominent in other
And it has
religions.
existed. Like in India,
Correct.
how all the religions of the world have coexisted. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
which
But
is something to
when
be
we
proud
think
of.
of more deeper philosophical way, then
Yeah,
like we have to find the truth. So we need to
correct.
study everything and think about it and experience it. So
Yeah, exactly. And I think like for me as well, like when I was younger, not even younger, like 2, 3 years ago, like I was always about the philosophical differences, like what is the philosophy, like getting deeper in the intellectual aspect of Jainism or of even the Abrahamic religions. But what I'm trying to do is to go beyond the intellect in some aspects and just experience things. And what the experience is, like you don't need to then speak about it and quantify it and qualitative it. You can just experience it. And I think that's what is so luxurious about Hinduism, Vedanta, Jainism, and Buddhism, that essentially it's an experiential way of living life. It's not an intellectual way of living life.
it's more about self development instead of praising someone else.
Correct,
That's the
correct.
biggest difference.
Yeah, correct. But uh, yeah,
And
is
many of the even the ritualistic things are very similar
yes,
among these three religions. All monks talk about ahimsa, all talk
correct.
about brahmacharya and
Hmm.
all those things. So there are
Exactly.
many similarities.